Hey, put it out!
Trampoyette, what have you done now?
Ah! Put it out! Put it out!
South Park's teachers and staff were never role models.
Sit down back there! Ah!
Yeah, whatever, you fat bitch.
What did you say?
I said I have a bad itch.
Oh.
The bus driver screamed, "Sit down and shut up!"
You shouldn't drink alcohol. And as for drugs, well, drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. Okay, that about wraps up my introduction. Now, are there any questions?
At second graders, the guidance counselor mumbled, "Drugs are bad, okay, like a broken record."
You just use a term that excludes women from an occupation?
Okay, let's back up. Ah!
Did you just say spokesman instead of spokesperson?
And the new principal smashed Cartman's face into a sink. Today, we're counting down the top 10 darkest teacher episodes in South Park.
Ms. Choksondik. Playtime is over, children. Do you understand me?
Kicking things off at number 10, we've got Ms. Choksondik.
This is a picture of shit is still naughty.
I don't get it.
Me neither.
The adjective form is now also acceptable. For example, the weather outside is shitty.
Moving up a grade should have been exciting for the boys.
Students are the most misbehaved, illiterate, brain-dead group of children I've ever come across. Well, I'd say somebody has some explaining to do.
She had bug-eyed glasses, sagging breasts the animators made bounce every time she moved, and a monotone voice that made everything sound worse.
That's a shitty picture of me is now fine. However, the literal noun form of this is a picture of shit.
Her idea of a pep talk? Children, if you don't pass this exam, you're going to end up in the gutter, giving hand jobs for crack. She also loved to call students worthless and remind them they'd never make it. That wasn't teaching, it was straight up verbal abuse.
I hope that sometime very soon you will let me in on what happened to this Mr. Garrison. And with that, I will bid you good day.
Oh, sure thing. Fine. Bye-bye then.
It was shocking to hear a fourth grade teacher talk about sex work and drugs. Now, she comes off less like a joke and more like someone miserable taking it out on children who couldn't fight back.
And in other news, still no cause of death found for elementary school teacher Diane Choksondik.
And then she's killed off with a single throwaway line in season 6. No memorial, no closure, no emotional beat for the boys. She's simply found dead, and the town moves on without her. That's why fourth grade lands here. It's the moment you realize the school staff in South Park aren't comic relief, they're disposable.
Be quiet back there! These roads are slick! Be quiet back there! Gone!
At number 9, it's the death of Miss Crabtree. Everyone remembers Miss Crabtree. The cigarette glued to her lip, her voice like gravel, hair sticking out like she hadn't slept in a week.
What did you say? Ah! Be quiet, kid!
She wasn't friendly, she wasn't warm, she was the bus driver from hell. Every ride started the same. Sit down and shut up. If the kids talked too much, it was, "What did I say about noise back there?" Or, "I swear to God, I'll turn this bus around." She'd scream until her face turned red, and the boys would sit there in silence. You laughed because everybody knew a bus driver who sounded just like that.
Her name is Veronica Crabtree, bus driver for the elementary school. She was considered an ancillary character, one the fans wouldn't miss much.
Then came season 8. Out of nowhere, Miss Crabtree is gone. In Cartman's incredible gift episode, she dies in a car crash, and the show doesn't even give her a send-off. There's no scene with the kids reacting, no funeral, no last gag.
Stop! Let me off, you turd!
Hey, I want to help you. I care a lot about that busload of, what was it again?
Children!
Yeah, right. Let me come with you.
She's treated like background noise that didn't matter. That's the real darkness here. Crabtree was part of the show from day one. She defined the bus rides, she set the school's tone, and then she was erased with zero respect.
Eric, something is clearly wrong, okay? And it would be best to just get it out in the open.
Number 8 takes us inside Mr. Mackey's past. Mr. Mackey was always the soft target for jokes. His head looked like a balloon, his voice cracked on every line, and his advice never worked.
Okay, kids, as your counselor, I know it can sometimes be difficult to talk about subjects like drugs and sex and alcohol, okay?
Alcohol is bad, okay? Was funny because he sounded useless, like the human version of hold music. Then came Inception. On the surface, it's South Park doing the movie Inception.
I don't know.
What do you have to say for yourself? Well, I tell you what, young man, you're going to be held back a grade if you don't
Dreams inside dreams, until everything collapses, The parody is wild, but the moment that sticks is when Mackey casually admits he was molested as a child. No build-up, no dramatic score. He says it the same way he says, "Okay?"
Mom, I think World War III is about to start. I'm gonna do what I can to protect our country.
Okay, honey, I'll make you a snack.
Most fans brushed it off because his delivery made everything sound ridiculous. But the line is brutal once you hear it for what it is.
I want to try and help you confront your problem, okay?
I don't have a problem.
Well, it's my understanding that you have an acute case of fakophilia.
What's that?
The one adult in charge of helping kids was permanently damaged himself. His advice was worthless because he never healed. That's the darkness here. His trauma is tossed out as a punchline, then the story moves on. Mackey's catchphrases don't land the same anymore. They sound like coping tics from someone broken.
Okay, children, now for those of you who are new, my name is Mr. Garrison.
Not him.
The bitch must die!
Coming in at number 7 is the infamous Mr. Garrison meltdown of all time. This episode is remembered for one thing, the brown note. The boys trick an entire stadium into playing a recorder pitch that supposedly makes everyone crap their pants. And sure enough, tens of thousands lose control at once. That was the gag kids repeated for years.
Dude, I can't wait till those New Yorker kids play the brown noise and crap their pants. We have to watch them. We can't miss it.
Are we all ready to play? Thanks. Okay, let's see the music.
But underneath the gross-out joke is one of the darkest teacher meltdowns in the series. Mr. Garrison is forced to attend the concert and confront his abusive father in front of a stadium packed with students, teachers, and parents.
Arkansas is where I grew up. My parents lived there. My father still lives there.
Well, don't you want to see them?
I haven't seen my father for 23 years.
Perhaps you should sit down, Mr. Garrison.
He has a complete breakdown. He screams about his past, unloads trauma nobody asked to hear, and unravels, while the kids watch. The brown note was the headline, but the recorder gag fades, and the real story is Garrison's breakdown.
Look, it's Kenny G himself. Oh, well, thank you.
In front of a stadium of kids and parents, while the world keeps playing music. Like nothing happened. That's why this episode lands here. You remember the brown note, but the real story is a teacher whose entire identity is built on unresolved pain. The poop joke didn't age well, but the breakdown did.
Hello, everybody!
Yes, Mr. Garrison has titties.
I had a sex change operation. My penis is now a vagina, and I'm experiencing womanhood for the first time in my life.
At number 6, Mr. Garrison becomes a woman. South Park has always gone for shock value, but this episode pushed it further. Garrison gets gender reassignment surgery, and the show doesn't hold back. You see every incision, every stitch, every grotesque cut as Garrison brags about his new vagina.
What is that on your shirt?
What the? They're dolphins. Why?
Oh, you like dolphins, hmm?
I love dolphins. Ever since I was a child, I dreamt of... But that has hardly any bearing on what I'm here to...
I can make you one.
Then it escalates. Kyle's dad, Gerald, goes in for a dolphinoplasty because he identifies as a dolphin. The doctors literally graft fins to his body, and he waddles out like it's normal. Meanwhile, Kyle is dragged into the mess when Gerald insists his son should go through surgery too. Fans laughed because it was so extreme that a cartoon even went there. Now it plays less like parody and more like a horror flick.
Dude, is Kyle's dad a dolphin? He's a Jewish dolphin. A Jewfin.
Adults mutilate themselves to chase delusions, while kids are forced to watch. The darkest part is how the town reacts. Nobody pushes back, no outrage, no concern. The kids are powerless, and the adults treat it like business as usual. That's what makes Fancy New Vagina so disturbing now. It's not parody of science or identity, it's adults destroying themselves, while children pay the price.
Just wanted to check in, see if you have any questions for me.
Why are the Asian girls drawing pictures of us being gay?
What's wrong with being gay? Nothing wrong with that.
Number 5 is the debut of PC Principal. When PC Principal shows up, he doesn't ease into the role. His first big move is slamming Cartman's face into a sink in the boys' bathroom. No warning, no build-up, just raw violence from the new principal.
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to frame you for raping Butters.
Do you think Italian Americans and women are less important?
Oh, God.
You dare to use words that alienate two communities of people who have to deal with verbal biases like yours on a daily basis?
After years of Cartman running the school, finally someone shut him down physically. It felt like karma in the moment, but that scene sets the tone. Within one episode, South Park Elementary turns into a frat house.
Social justice, 1, 2, 3. I wanna be PC. It's just the way to be for me.
PC principal surrounds himself with bros who shotgun beers in the teacher's lounge, haze anyone who doesn't meet their standards, and patrol the halls like enforcers. They bark, "Check your privilege," while pounding another natty light.
Well, what the hell are you guys talking? Oh, we gotta be careful, Gerald. This is a college bar.
Somebody here have a problem with Caitlyn Jenner? No? No? Because she's a stunning, beautiful woman, and if you want to call her anything else, I'm ready to throw down.
At first it was funny because the parody was obvious, but now it feels darker. This was dictatorship. The principal wasn't leading, he was ruling. The kids weren't students anymore, they were trapped in a cult. That's the darkness here. The Sync beatdown gets the laugh, but the bigger picture is nuts. The school didn't gain order, it got a frat bro dictator in charge.
Garrison, what do you think?
And I'm also not afraid to stand up to PC principal. You, sir, have a pizza face and you suck your mom's dick.
That's it, Garrison. You are fired from South Park Elementary.
At number 4, Mr. Garrison tries to get fired. Mr. Garrison has pulled plenty of stunts, but this was his wildest. Forced back into teaching, he decides the only way out is to get fired so he can sue the school. His strategy? Be so offensive in the classroom that the school can't ignore it.
So that's Mr. Slave, the teacher's assistant, or as I like to write for short, the teacher's ass.
He brings in Mr. Slave, stages graphic acts in front of 4th graders, and dares the parents to complain. You'd expect outrage. Instead, the opposite happens. The boys report him, and the adults say they're the problem. They're intolerant. That's where it turns a bit disturbing. Instead of protecting the kids, the system punishes them. They get shipped off to a tolerance camp where they're abused, brainwashed, and silenced. That's the darkness here.
You are here because you would not accept people's differences. Because you refuse to accept the life choices of your fellow man.
The people in charge didn't just fail to help. They flipped the blame, crushed the kids, and called it progress.
My whole life has just been one big screw up, you know? I admit it, I was sexually lost. And then I see this person on Oprah. She's a woman, but then she got a sex change, became a man, but...
Coming in at number 3, Garrison decides he wants to be a man again. On the surface, this episode looks like standard South Park shock humor. Ms. Garrison demands scientists grow her a penis in a lab so she can become a man again. The surgery scenes are graphic, drawn out, and absurd. Classic South Park gross out.
Who wants to argue on a nice day like this? How about a little pickup game? Hey, Paitano! Can you keep score for us? Sure thing, Mr. C.
But the darker story is Cartman's subplot. While Ms. Garrison is gone, Cartman gets assigned to an inner-city classroom filled with Hispanic kids. To blend in, he throws on a fake accent, shaves his head for a comb-over, and reinvents himself as Mr. Cartmanis. Within minutes, he's running the class like a cult leader, teaching them how to cheat their way through standardized tests. It was funny because of how ridiculous it looked, a 9-year-old strutting around like a teacher and fooling everyone. But looking at it now, it hits different.
How do I reach these kids? How do I reach these kids?
A child takes over a classroom, manipulates kids, and no adults even notice until it's too late. The actual teachers are so incompetent that Cartman fills the role, and it works. That's the unsettling part. The Cartman teacher gag is still funny, but underneath it is a school system so broken that Cartman slides right into authority without anyone stopping him.
I'm burning! Put it out! Put it out!
At number 2, we've got Mrs. Claridge. Mrs. Claridge was one of those background figures you didn't think much about at first. She's disfigured, stuck in a bulky wheelchair, and can only communicate with electronic beeps on her chair. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Her backstory is brutal. Back in preschool, the boys accidentally set the classroom on fire. Mrs. Claridge was caught in the blaze, left scarred, and confined to the chair for the rest of her life. Instead of being treated as a survivor, the show turned her into a punchline. It didn't stop there. In the same episode, Cartman tries to tase Trent Boyette and hits Mrs. Claridge instead. The shock sends her spinning into a propane shop, she bursts into flames, and only survives because she lands on a fire hydrant that puts her out. It's played for laughs, but it's one of the bleakest sight gags in the series. What makes her story darker is how different it is from everyone else in town. Mrs. Claridge stays broken. Every time she appears, the tone shifts from comedy to sad reminder of what the boys did and how she never recovered. That's why preschool stings today. It isn't just another chaotic South Park accident, it's the rare time the show leaves someone permanently destroyed and treats her pain as entertainment. And finally, at number 1, it's Miss Stevenson. This episode wasn't edgy. It was flat out disturbing. Ms. Stevenson, the new kindergarten teacher, starts a sexual relationship with Ike Broflovsky, who is in her class.
Ike, I'm very flattered by all of your love notes, but I need to be clear. I do admire you. You are so smart and gifted, so mature for your age. You make me feel things I've never felt before.
When the cops find out, they don't react with outrage. They grin and say, "Nice." That one word flips the story. Abuse isn't treated as abuse. Instead of outrage, it's brushed off with a joke. That's what makes it disturbing. The plot escalates when Miss Stevenson kidnaps Ike and tries to run away with him to Italy.
Oh, you know what this is? This is the mace that they use on bears, faggot! Now let me see your hop ass! It's right here! Alright, cool, brah. Go with Crest. What? You can't just push me up against the... Ah!
She's stopped at the airport hotel by Kyle and Cartman, and instead of a trial or any fallout, she jumps to her death. To soften it, the writers ran a parallel subplot with Cartman as hall monitor. Decked out like Dog the Bounty Hunter, with sunglasses, taser, and fake badge, he storms through the halls taking down kids. Fans quoted it nonstop, and Cartman's wannabe cop routine became the lighter distraction. But none of that changes the core story. A teacher preys on a child, and every authority figure fails him. The cops, the school, the town, nobody protects Ike. That's why this episode hits harder than any of the others. Cartman's parody subplot still gets laughs, but the main story is one of the darkest South Park ever aired. South Park never wrote its school staff as role models. They were either unstable, selfish, or dangerous, and the kids were the ones stuck dealing with it. That's why these 10 episodes stand out. The shock jokes are still there, but the longer you watch, the more you see how often the teachers traumatize the kids. Speaking of South Park trauma, have you watched the 10 darkest South Park episodes that went too far? Click here to check it out.